today's video, I'll be doing a little overview about my 2014 335i. So let's get started. So to start off, let's talk about some engine mods. I have a CTS turbo intake, makes pretty nice noises. I also have a CTS turbo inlet pipe. I have an FTP charge pipe. Down here, I have a 5-inch BRSF intercooler. And as far as the exhaust, I have a callus downpipe, which is also by BRSF. And to accommodate the downpipe, you will also need a tune, which in this case I have MHD, and I have the Stage 2 Plus tune with AK-47 tune. I mean, who doesn't have that? As far as spark plugs, I was running one-step holder spark plugs, which I guess in this application, since I'm not running a shit ton of boost, I don't really need one-step holder spark plugs. OEM spark plugs will do just fine, so it's kind of like overkill in my case. Let's move back to the exhaust. As far as the exhaust, I have Rev 9 muffler delete and some M Performance exhaust tips, which are the duals, and the only reason why I have these is because of the M3 rear bumper, and I have the same thing in the front, which is the M3 retrofit bumper, whatever you want to call it. As far as the wing, this is just a carbon fiber rear kick-up wing, I think that's what it's called. They're fairly cheap. You can get them like for under 300 bucks, no problem whatsoever. So now we're moving on to the wheels. As far as the wheels, these are SSR Type C RS wheels, which I think RS means like racing spec. These are two-piece welded forged wheels. As far as tires, just some cheapo tires that I bought just to burn up, I guess, because I go through tires fairly quick. As far as the summer, I'll be getting some Toyo RR8s, I think, just to have some fun, because I absolutely hate the way these look. And I want to see that meaty sidewall. The specs of the wheels, I believe they are 18 by 9.5. I'm not sure on the offset. As far as the interior is pretty much stock. It's in fairly good condition, and this is the M Sport package. This isn't just a regular model. The M Sport package pretty much comes with updated steering wheel, the screen, the iDrive screen. It's newer and bigger, I believe, and then it comes with different side skirts, rear bumper, and the front bumper. But in my case, I have the M bumpers for the rear and for the front as well. So you guys can see that the car is lowered and it's not in its factory spec. That's because this car is on lowering springs. I believe they're H&R. It's like a 2-inch drop, I believe, or 1.5 inches, which I'm pretty happy with it. Honestly, I'd go a little lower if I could. The thing is, this car should have been in coilovers, but the company that I ordered from kind of scammed me, which I have a video about that on my channel, where I talk about a company that promised to ship me out coilovers, but actually don't even have any parts. That just take your money and lie to you, pretty much. Which I will mention them on a screen somewhere, and I'll put a screenshot of what the company was. I'm not sure if they're still around or not. So the very last piece that's very important is the maintenance of the car, which honestly, that should be the very first thing you do to a car when you buy it. That's changing all the fluids, all the filters, and everything else, which I've done quite a bit of maintenance with this car, whether it be from a dealership or from me. For an example, I've done the idler pulley, the belts. I did the crank hub guard on these cars, just because if the belt ends up snapping, and which usually that happens from oil leaking on your belt, and then the belt cracks and the crank eats up the belt, which is a complete pain in the ass to get out, and it might damage your engine in the long run. But besides that, I've done spark plugs, coils, pretty much stuff like that, some suspension components, just because of wear and tear. And a few oil leaks here and there, which are very common with the valve cover gasket, the oil housing, and the oil pan. But besides all those problems, this car actually is extremely reliable. It's a lot of fun, and I love it. But the very last important thing that I'm going to show you is the sound of the car and how amazing it sounds. So this is what the car sounds like when it's somewhat cold. Once I let it warm up for just a little bit, it actually sounds a lot better. And it also, bangs and pops. Your typical Beamer boy. And sometimes there are occasions, I guess it shoots flames, which I haven't seen it personally. But from what people have been telling me, it shoots flames. But I haven't witnessed it myself.